Chapter 5. Raj Al Ghul is dead. Rachel was in Dr. Crane's office at the asylum. Batman was listening outside the building. "Falcone is just going to prison when he suddenly becomes mentally ill," said Rachel. "Isn't that a little strange, Dr. Crane?" "Would you like to see Falcone, Miss Dawes? Then you'll be able to decide for yourself," said Crane. "Come with me. I'll show you." Falcone lay on his bed. He couldn't move. "Mask! Mask! Mask!" he was saying. "You've given him drugs," said Rachel. "Yes, of course," said Crane. "We give drugs to all our people here. It's a hospital." "The police doctor must see him and do some blood tests," said Rachel. "I'm going to call him right now." "Very well," said Crane. "Come this way." They went down some stairs and came to a door. It had an electronic lock. Crane put some numbers in and it opened. They turned right and walked to a large room. There were hundreds of small blue bags on the tables. People in white coats were working at the tables. "We make our drugs here," said Crane. Rachel turned and ran. She got to the door, but Crane had locked it again. She pushed different numbers. Nothing happened. Suddenly, a horrible masked man appeared next to her, and then a cloud of white smoke. Rachel lay on a table. "Who knows you're here?" shouted Crane. "I want to know before I kill you." "What do we do now?" asked one of the men. "Call the police," said Crane. "You want the police here?" asked the other man. He was surprised. "Batman's here," said Crane. "I'm sure of it. The police will catch him." Suddenly, a black thing flew at them and hit the two men. They fell to the floor. Batman looked around. Where was Crane? He heard a sound behind him and turned. In the dark, he saw a mask and a hand. Batman pulled the mask off Crane's face. He held Crane's hand under his own nose. Smoke came from a bottle inside Crane's coat. White smoke. Whoosh! Crane's body dropped to the floor. "Who are you working for?" shouted Batman. "Who's your boss?" Raj Al Ghul," said Crane. He spoke with great difficulty. "Raj Al Ghul is dead, Crane," said Batman. "Who are you really working for?" Crane's eyes closed. He said only a few words. "Mask, drugs, smoke, water, steam." There was a loud voice outside. "Batman! Come out! There are police everywhere. We are all around the building. You can't escape." Batman found Rachel. He took her in his arms and climbed up to the roof. Sergeant Gordon went into the building to find Batman. He started to climb the stairs. Suddenly, he felt an arm around him, and he was flying up and up. Batman dropped him carefully onto the roof. Then Gordon saw Rachel lying there. "What's happened to her?" he asked. "Crane gave her a dangerous drug," said Batman. "She'll die very soon. I must get the antidote for her." "How will you escape?" asked Gordon. "I'm going to call for help," said Batman. He pushed something on his shoe. It made a very high sound. A big, black cloud started to grow in the sky above Gotham. It grew and grew and moved nearer and nearer. Finally, it came down on the hospital roof. Bats! Thousands of bats! They flew all around Bruce and Rachel. The bats hid Batman and Rachel until they reached the Batmobile. Batman drove home to the Batcave. When they arrived, Bruce looked at Rachel carefully. Her eyes were closed and she wasn't moving. She was cold. He carried her from the Batmobile to the work table. He gave her the antidote. He hoped that it wasn't too late. At Arkham Asylum, there were police everywhere. A young police officer ran over to Sergeant Gordon. "Sir," he shouted, "there's something that you must see." Gordon followed him into another big room. In the centre of the floor was a small door. It was open. Gordon looked through the door and saw the river below. There were 5 or 6 large bottles next to the door. "They've used the river for something," said Gordon. "But what?" He looked at the bottles. "I want to speak to someone at the water office," he shouted. "Now!" Rachel woke up. She felt terrible. "How do you feel?" someone asked. She knew the voice. She looked at the face. It was Batman. "Where am I?" she asked. "Why did you bring me here?" "You were very ill," he said. "I rescued you." "I remember now. That horrible mask," she said. "It was Crane. I must tell Sergeant Gordon." She tried to move. "No, don't get up. Stay where you are," said Batman. "Sergeant Gordon has got Crane already." "Why did you save my life?" she asked. "Gotham needs you," he said. "Here, take this. It will help you sleep. When you wake up, please find Sergeant Gordon. Give him these." He held up 2 small bottles. "Only Gordon. No one else." "What are they?" she asked. "The antidote to this killer drug," said Batman. "1 bottle is for Gordon himself. He can use the other bottle to make some more of the antidote for everyone." "Crane wasn't the boss. He was working for someone else," Rachel said. "Something Al Ghul." "Raj Al Ghul," said Batman. "No, it's not Raj Al Ghul. He's dead. I was there when he died." But Rachel was asleep.